Well, it's very easy. I was super woke. I
Mm.
was of that camp. So I've been there. That's why I know the psychology of how these things work so well, because I was in it. I did all the things. I made fun of white people. I had that whole like power metrics thing. Oh, it's not racism as long as it's not institutionally backed. And then there were these little cracks along the way that started to get bigger until I couldn't ignore them anymore.
So when
And
was
one
this?
this I'm so bad with time. I must have been I think it was 22 or 23. Right around the breaking point where I started to realize this doesn't
I don't know how old you
hold
are. So
water.
was this
Oh,
like
I'm 29.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
So
like 6 years ago. So that'd be like 2015-ish.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay, okay. That
So
just helps. I'm trying to think of like where society was at that point and stuff
yeah,
like
this wasn't
that.
a
Okay.
thing
So
by
you
then.
were in that kind of thinking. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was doing the whole thing. I was, making fun of people for cultural
Mm-hmm.
appropriation. I did the whole thing. I was insufferable, and I was doing it before it was, cool.
Yeah.
Essentially, I was doing it, to my friends, being like, "That's not right." I was a card carrying communist. I was the whole deal.
Wow.
So I've been on that side. I know the whole psychology of it because I know, I embodied it. And it's
Yeah.
funny though, because now I'm on the other side of it where the friends that I once was like, you shouldn't do that because cultural appropriation. Now they're picking it up. And I'm like, hey, no, actually, it's not what you think.
Yeah.
So, but there was these little, that's the thing is that, when I was younger, I didn't, I didn't have this kind of philosophy where I wanted to tell the truth to myself. I was kind of more concerned with, which is like normal for a person that's younger. I was concerned with who I seem to be, like who I appeared
Mm.
to be, with building up.
Identity? Is
Yeah,
that
with
part of it?
building up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big
Yeah.
deal because people gain a lot of identity from these kind of identity politics and these ideas and whatever they tell us who we are, which is great if you don't know who you are and you're not yet willing or ready or able
Mm-hmm.
to tell yourself who you are and to figure that out. And so, it's kind of like this ready-made identity. So I picked on to these things, and they serve the purpose of giving me, my identity and giving me a sense of superiority too, because I was, I've always been like the articulate and able to argue circles around people, which is nice, but that doesn't always mean that you're in search of something benevolent or some kind of truth. You can just be a great orator and very argumentative and good at debating without actually trying to pursue truth. And so I remember that I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was visiting his mom and with him, and I was making fun of him. These kind of jokes, like these woke jokes or whatever. He was like, "Oh, you don't have to wash the dishes," and I was like, I know that that's what white people might do, but my Cuban mom would beat my ass if I did not do these dishes. His mom, was like 60 something years old, was in the other room and she heard me. And she's like, "Honey, you don't have to wash the dishes. Don't worry." And it just struck me how mortifying it was for someone that's not in on the whole theory to hear me say something like that, because it only works if everyone else knows. If
Right.
not, you're just a jerk. It just sounds like you're a racist to make
Right.
fun of people for their race and to say stuff like that. It doesn't feel good. And it only feels good when you're in the right peer group. And when I didn't have that backing, because my boyfriend at the time knew like my whole shtick and he was not into it, but he was like, whatever, he knew enough to be like, yeah, I get it. And but his mom didn't. So
Yeah.
here I was sounding like a jerk to someone's wonderful mother for like these kind of like my little identity points or whatever, to kind of play this game.
Yeah,
And
try
so
to
that was
explain try to explain
explain it.
I'm a nice I'm no, it's not bad because
It's
I'm a good person.
institutional. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm a
no,
good person.
no.
So yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
no, I'm just
racist
saying
because
this
I'm
thing.
good. You know, wokeness is
Exactly.
like a paint by numbers to morality.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, it's so
It's
overly
really, it's a
simplistic.
shortcut. It's a shortcut.
Yeah.
And of course there is no shortcut to morality. You have to be what you say you are,
Yeah.
you know? So this is, it was like, that was, I never forget that moment, because it was like one of the fatal cracks in the identity I had built out of this ideology. And that's ultimately what it comes to, is like, how far are you going to push it until it breaks? Eventually it'll break.